Dear students, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about new lesson, Unit 22, World of Microbes. What do you know about microbes? Yes, microbes are microorganisms. Microbes are very small, tiny organisms. We need microscope to see the microorganisms. We cannot see with our naked eye. Microbes are found everywhere. It is present in the air, in the soil, in water, on rocks, in plants, in animals, and also these microorganisms present in human body. So microbes are found in habitats like habitat means living place. Habitats like terrestrial, aquatic, atmospheric, or in living host. Some of them survive in extreme environments like hot springs, ice sheets, water bodies with high salt content and low oxygen, and in arid places with limited water availability. Okay, then these microorganisms are already I told it is present everywhere, but some of the microorganisms are beneficial to us and they are used in the preparation of curd, bread, cheese, alcohol, vaccines and vitamins. While some others are harmful, causing diseases to plants and animals including human beings. Have you heard the word viral diseases? Nowadays we are afraid of this coronavirus, isn't it so? In microorganisms, beneficial microorganisms also there and harmful microorganisms also there. Okay, so in this lesson we are going to discuss about beneficial and harmful effects of microbes in relation to welfare of humankind. Okay, what is microbiology? Micro means in Greek, micro means small, bios life. Okay, then logy means study. So microbiology means the study of small living things, that is microorganisms. Okay, so microbiology is a branch of biology that deals with living organism of microscopic size. Okay, which include bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. So what are microorganisms? Microorganisms are very small, tiny, we cannot see with our naked eye. With the help of microscope only we can see the microorganisms, beneficial microorganisms and harmful microorganisms also there. Next one, microbes and their types. Microorganisms differ from each other in size, morphology, external features, habitat, living place, metabolism and other features. Microbes may be unicellular, multicellular and acellular. Unicellular example, bacteria, that prokaryotic organisms comes under unicellular. Then multicellular example, fungi. Acellular, virus. Okay, types of microbes include bacteria, viruses, fungi, microscopic algae and protists. Okay, so based on their morphology, size, habitat, metabolism and other several features, microorganisms are classified into 5 types. They are bacteria, viruses, fungi, microscopic algae and protists. First one, bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic single-celled prokaryotic organism without nucleus and other cell organelles. So prokaryotic cells, pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. So these cells are present without nucleus and nuclear membrane. Cell organelles are also absent. Example, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, mitochondria are absent in bacterial cells. Although majority of bacterial species exist as single cell forms, some appear to be filaments of loosely joined cells. Okay, the size varies from less than 1 to 10 millimicron in length and 0 to 0.2 to 1 millimicrometer in width. Bacteria may be motile or non-motile. Motile means they can move from one place to another place. Non-motile, it cannot move. So here the flagellas are act as a locomotory organ. Okay, the special structures called flagella are found on the cell surfaces for motility. So flagellas act as a locomotory organ. Some bacteria are present with flagella, some bacteria are present without flagella. Shapes of bacteria. Based on the shapes, bacteria are classified into three types. First one, spherical shaped bacteria. Second one, rod shaped bacteria. Third one, spiral shaped bacteria. Okay, first one, spherical shaped bacteria. That is, spherical or rounded shaped bacteria are called as cocci. Okay, coccus for a single cell. If it is present in two cells, okay, they are called diplococci. Four cells are arranged, they are called tetrad. Okay, cells are arranged in chain form, it is called streptococci. Cluster of bacteria are present, it is called staphylococci. So, based on the shapes, bacteria are classified into three types. First one, spherical shaped bacteria. If it is present in single cell, it is called monococci. Two cells are arranged, diplococci. Cells are arranged in chain form, streptococci. Cluster of bacterial cells are arranged, they are called staphylococci. Second one, rod shaped bacteria. Rod shaped bacteria are called as bacilli. If it is present in single, it is called bacillus. Okay, two cells are arranged, it is called diplobacilli. Cells are arranged in chain form, it is called streptobacilli. Cells are arranged, it means cluster of bacteria are present, it is called staphylobacilli. Okay, third one, spiral shaped bacteria. Spiral shaped bacteria are called as spirillum. Okay, spiral shaped bacteria are called as spirilla. Single cells are called spirillum. Okay, so based on the shapes, bacteria are classified into three types: spherical shaped bacteria, rod shaped bacteria, and spiral shaped bacteria. Antony van Leeuwenhoek, the first microbiologist, designed his own microscope. This microscope was a simple single lens device, but it had greater clarity and magnification than compound microscopes of its time. Especially the microscope was completely handmade, including the screws and rivets. In 1674, he took plaque from his own teeth and observed it under the microscope. Plaque means it is a sticky substance made from leftover food particles and saliva that mix in your mouth. It forms plaque. This plaque contains bacteria. Okay, so in 1674 he took plaque from his own teeth and observed it under the microscope. He discovered some bacteria are present. He was amazed to see many tiny organisms moving around which was otherwise invisible to naked eyes. Structure of a bacterial cell. Bacterial cell has cell membrane covered by a strong rigid cell wall. This cell wall helps to maintain the shape of the cell. In some bacteria, outside the cell wall, there is an additional slimy protective layer called capsule. This capsule is made up of polysaccharides. Below the bacterial cell wall, plasma membrane is present. The plasma membrane encloses the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a gel-like substance. It is composed of water, cell component and molecules. Then in cytoplasm, incipient nucleus, nucleoid, ribosomes and DNA which serves as genetic material. Already I told this bacteria comes under prokaryotic cell. In this, true nucleus and nuclear membranes are absent. So here nucleoid is present. Ribosomes are present. They are considered as site of protein synthesis. They lack membrane bound organelles because it is comes under prokaryotic cell. So membrane bound organelles are absent in bacterial cell. In addition to this, a small extra chromosomal circular DNA called plasmid, it is found in the cytoplasm. Plasmids are small double-stranded DNA molecules are present. Then outside the surface of the bacterial cell, we can identify hair-like structures are present. They are called pili. They are short hair-like structures. The main function of pili is attachment. Then their long appendages are present on the surface of bacteria. These long appendages are free at one end, attached to the cell at other end. These flagellas are act as a locomotory organ. In some bacteria, these flagellas are absent. So, bacteria has cell membrane. It maintains the shape of the cell. Below the cell wall, plasma membrane is present. This plasma membrane encloses the cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, nucleus, ribosomes and genetic materials are present. Ribosomes are site of the protein synthesis. Membrane bound organelles are absent. Here, extra chromosomal DNA is present, that is called plasmid. Next microorganism, viruses. Viruses are smaller than bacteria. Virus in Latin means venom or poisonous fluid. So, virus means poison. Viruses are non-cellular self-replicating parasite. Non-cellular means they do not have cell-like structure. Viruses are made up of two components, nucleic acid and capsid. Nucleic acid is surrounded by capsid. Capsid is made up of proteins. The genetic material of virus is either DNA or RNA, but not both. Generally, plant viruses contain RNA, animal viruses contain DNA. The amount of protein varies from 60% to 95% and the rest is nucleic acid. Already I told the nucleic acid which is present in virus is either DNA or RNA. For example, DNA in T4 bacteriophage and RNA in tobacco mosaic virus. So, viruses are smaller than bacteria. Viruses are made up of nucleic acid and protein coat. That protein coat is called capsid. Plant viruses contain RNA. Animal viruses contain DNA. Viruses are called obligatory parasite because the viruses can grow and multiply only in living cells. So, they are called obligatory intracellular parasite. Virus is a small parasite that consists of nucleic acid molecule covered by a protein coat, already we discussed. A simple virus particle is often called a virion. Virion is the complete infective form of a virus outside the host cell. Viruses can live only inside the living cells, but virion is infective form of virus outside the host cell. Okay, comparatively large. Okay, viruses are larger than virion. Okay, so viruses are intracellular structure, virion extracellular structure. Okay, they can be easily transmitted from one host to another. Viruses can be found either inside a cell or outside a cell, intracellular or extracellular. If it is found extracellular, that virus is called a virion. Characters of viruses. Viruses exhibit both living and non-living characters. First, we are going to discuss about living characters of viruses. They have the nucleic acid, that is DNA or RNA. the genetic material that can replicate. Already I told plant viruses contain RNA, animal viruses contain DNA. That genetic material can replicate. They can multiply in the living cells of the host. That's why it is called obligate intracellular parasite. They can multiply inside the living cells only. They grow and multiply in living cells. Then they can attack specific host. So based on their host, viruses are classified into three types: plant virus, animal virus, and bacteriophages. Next one, non-living characters of viruses. Viruses remain as inert material outside the host. Okay. They are devoid of cell membrane and cell wall. Viruses are devoid of cell organelles like ribosomes, mitochondria, etc. So, the cell organelles are absent in viruses. They can be crystallized. See, American scientist Wendell Stanley crystallized tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus was the first virus to be crystallized. The process of transforming the compounds of a virus into organized particles. A virus crystal consists of 1,000 viruses. So, viruses present outside. Okay, if it is present outside, it acts as a non-living things. So, they can be crystallized. So, what are the living characters of viruses? They have nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA. That genetic material can replicate. They can multiply in the living cells of host. They can attack specific host. Then non-living characters, viruses remain as inert material outside their host. They are devoid of cell membrane and cell wall. Cell organelles also absent. They can be crystallized. Types of viruses. Based on their host, viruses are classified into plant virus, animal virus, and bacteriophages. First one, plant virus. Viruses that infect plants. Example, tobacco mosaic virus, cauliflower mosaic virus, potato virus. If the mosaic virus is affect the plant, it shows stunt growth, mosaic pattern of light and dark green on the leaves, malformation of leaves, yellow streaking of leaves, and yellow spotting on leaves. Next one, animal virus. Virus that affect animals. Okay, virus that infect animals. Example, adenovirus, retrovirus, influenza virus, polio virus, etc. Bacteriophages, virus that infect bacterial cells. Example, T4 bacteriophage. So, viruses are classified into three types: plant virus, animal virus, and bacteriophages. Virus that infect plants, plant virus. Virus that infect animals, animal virus. Virus that infect bacteria, they are called bacteriophages. Next microorganism, fungi. Fungi do not have chlorophyll, so they depend on other organisms for their nutritional needs. There are two methods of nutrition in fungi. One is parasitic nutrition and other one is saprophytic nutrition. See, they depend on living or dead host for their nutritional needs. First one, parasitic nutrition. Fungi living on living host are called parasite. And some organism living on dead organic matter are called saprophytes. So, fungi follow two methods of nutrition. Parasitic nutrition, they depend on other organism, living host. Second one is saprophytic nutrition. They depend on living on dead organic matter are called saprophytes. The body of the fungus is called thallus. See, thallus means the plant body is not differentiated into stem, leaves, and lacks true roots and vascular system. So if these things are absent, they are called, that plant body is called thallus. In fungi, if you see a mushroom, can you identify root, stem, leaves like that? No. So that type of structure is called thallus. Single-celled yeast ranges from 1 to 5 millimicron in width. They are spherical in shape. Flagella are absent. So in bacteria, flagellas are act as a locomotory organ. In fungi, flagellas are absent. So they are non-motile. They cannot move from one place to another place. In case of multicellular forms, thallus is called mycelium. Okay, in multicellular organism, the plant body is called mycelium. In unicellular fungi, the plant body is called thallus. So mycelium is a complex of several thin filaments called hyphae. In singular, it is called hypha. So mycelium is a network of fungal threads. They are called hyphae. A single spore can develop into a mycelium. These mycelium absorb nutrients from the environment. Okay, each hypha is 5 to 10 millimicron wide. They are tube-like structures filled with protoplasm and cellular organelles. Cell wall is made up of cellulose or chitin. Cytoplasm contains small vacuoles filled with cell sap, nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi body, ribosomes and endoplasmic reticulum. These cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm. Food material is stored in the form of glycogen or oil globules. Fungi reproduces vegetatively, asexually and sexually. It reproduces vegetatively by binary fission, budding and fragmentation. In binary fission, division of nucleus and division of cytoplasm takes place. In budding, first it produces a small protuberance on the parent cell that grows into a full size and forms a bud. The nucleus of the parent cell splits into a daughter nucleus and migrates into the daughter cell. This is the process of budding. Next one, fragmentation. In this process, the organism breaks down itself or any other external environmental condition which make the organism to break down into pieces, and this each piece grows into new individual organism. This process is called fragmentation. Next one, it reproduces asexually through spore formation, that is gonidia. The fungal hyphae give rise to a globular structure known as sporogonium. So inside this sporogonium, the spores are produced. Okay, this sporogonium gives rise to several spores by repetitive division of its nucleus. Then each nucleus gets surrounded by a part of cytoplasm and thus develops into a spore. Then each spore develops into a new individual. Fungi reproduces sexually. It produces male and female gamete. Male gamete is called antheridium and female gamete is called oogonium. Already you studied about viruses. Viruses are made up of proteins and nucleic acids. Two components are present in virus, but these prions are made up of only proteins. Okay. The term prion was coined by Stanley B. Prusiner in 1982. Prions are viral particles which contain only proteins. They do not contain nucleic acids. They are infectious and smaller than viruses. Prions are found in neurons and are rod-shaped. What are neurons? Nerve cells are called neurons. Prions induce changes in normal proteins. This results in the degeneration of nervous tissue. See the picture. They given normal and diseased prion. Okay. So what is prion? A prion is a type of protein. In this prion, nucleic acids are absent. Okay. This prion can trigger normal proteins in the brain to fold abnormally. Okay, prion diseases can affect both humans and animals and are sometimes spread to humans by infected meat products. Dear students, I hope you understand about what are microorganisms and their types, bacteria, shapes of bacteria, structure of bacteria, viruses, characters of viruses, living character and non-living character of viruses, types of viruses, fungi and prions. Thank you, students.